When dice come in a custom carved wooden box like this, you know you're in for a good one. Hello Wolfpack, I am seriously so excited to see all of you today and to tell you about this electrifying, that's a fun word, electrifying brand new product from Awaken Realms, the Awaken Realms Vault. These are the story dice, and today I'm going to tell you about several of them, 5 of them in total, and we're going to start off first with the RPG dice. Now, please note that everything that you see today is, of course, a prototype copy that I am showing you. And the first one here is the Emotions die. Okay, get this, the dice that you're gonna see, they're combining miniatures with dice, so you're gonna see some wild fusions. This first one is the Emotions die. So they're gonna be compatible with any 5e systems if you play D&D, or a bunch of other systems that will all be listed in the campaign page, which is all linked down below. So with this first Emotions die, has a unique face on each side. So number 1, we have anger. Switch on over to number 2, we have distrust. Number 3 is over here. This is the neutral face. Number 4 is scared. And it's pretty obvious. She's like on her face, like, ah, like you've seen the scary movie or something. And then we move on to number 5, which is cunning. And lastly, on number 6, which is of course going to be the most coveted one, and this is a friendly face. This is also one card that comes with the Emotions die. So here it says, dice to determine NPC emotions. Super handy when you need to quickly come up with an NPC reaction or set the mood of the scene. And then it lists all the different faces here broken down one by one. So a fun question I want to answer for each of these dice that we're going to go over is how exactly would you use them? In this case, let's say you are on an epic adventure. You're tired, you're worn out, you just came out from an epic battle and you're looking to rest at an inn. So you stroll on into this wonderful, bustling inn, you go straight to the innkeeper, you're like, hey, I want some food. But then the GM, the game master, is gonna hand you this die. And depending on what you roll is going to dictate how that NPC is going to react when you start asking him questions about, who knows, let's say you're asking questions about a quest that you're on, and you're trying to gather some information, you're trying to gather some intel on what exactly is happening in Moorwood. What's up with the poisonous vile creatures that are coming out at midnight in Moorwood? So you roll this die. And this one, number 5, is cunning. Because they are greedy, because they are mischievous, they want to deliver a hidden message. The innkeeper advises you to go north towards Moorwood to find a hidden swamp in the center of Moorwood and find the Ice Blade. That Ice Blade is going to be perfect for slaying his enemies, which are all fire elementals, thieves around town that have been stealing from him and all of his supplies. Forgive me for my first time trying to invent some RPG themed story, but you get me here, right? So you roll this die and it's going to tell you a different type of emotion depending on what you roll. Now moving on to die number 2. My personal favorite. This right here is the Intruder Die. This particular one is the Koi die. So the Koi die is going to have a higher probability of rolling high results. It's a good way to reward players with incentives. On this card right here, it says that when the GM feels that the characters have gained an upper hand in the situation and fate is on their side, then they're going to hand them this Koi die. Now this die, you'll see individual fish kind of carved around. There's a bunch of patterns and textures and of course higher numbers. Actually, if you want to know the specifics, they replaced the 1 with the 9, so there are 2 9s available and a total of 10 numbers. This die is also weighted too. You can hear that weight, so when you roll it, it's going to balance itself, and then in this case, I rolled a 6. So there are a bunch of patterns and textures you can see all around this, all different types of koi and like water textures and kelp, seaweed. So again, how would you use this die, Tim? Well, let's say that you have just won good luck, fame, and fortune. If you know exactly where that's from, then comment 24 hours down below if you know which streamer I'm talking about. But let's say you were the sole survivor in your group, your HP is dwindling down, you have barely any HP left, and you need to deal some crazy damage. You're fighting against this swamp monster and you needed to roll a 6. You rolled that 6 and you are rewarded with this die to help you on some lockpicking treasures that the swamp monster has just dropped. And it wasn't just any kind of lockpicking treasure, it was that ice sword that you're trying to gain from the Emotions die. So that's one way you can use this fortune die, the Koi dice. And as we move on to number 3, if you are enjoying the content so far, if you like what I do here on this channel, I'm this close to 25K subs. And if you take a second to hit subscribe right there, it's gonna help me get there one step closer with your help. So die number 3 is my personal favorite, which is, did I say that already? I probably did. This right here is the Awaken Realms die. Now you see this, you automatically know exactly what game this is for. So this is the Nemesis die, the Intruder die. So the past two were more RPG oriented. I mean, you can use them for whatever, but they are more geared towards RPGs. But for this one, these line of dice are gonna be geared towards the Awaken Realms titles. In particular, the one I'm showing you right now is for Nemesis. So this die is a D6. Most of them are numbers, but we do have a couple of symbols here. We have an X, and we also have this 3 mark here. But then you can see that there are literally alien heads shown on some parts of the die. It has alien fingers, the spine, the ridges. It's as if the alien kind of grabbed onto a die and just like merged and fused with it. So that's this one right here, the Intruder die. So the card tells you that this can be a substitute for the noise die. Turn to the background and it'll tell you rules and also the probability of the results as well. So here it says that Intruder die rules. Once per turn before you perform a noise roll, you can draw 1 action card, but then you must use this Intruder die during that noise roll instead of using a standard noise die. And then of course it tells you the results for each one with the scratches, the 1, 2, and so forth. So the lowest probability here is having that X, and the highest probability is 25.66% results with the claw mark. Okay, I have 2 more dice to tell you about today. Number 4 now is the Towns die. Now this is a D12. It has individually carved districts in each face of that die. You can see each individually carved town. Each one has unique buildings and structures. Some even have, this looks like a skeleton actually on the bottom left side over here. There are even monuments and statues in some of the cities. So how would you use this Towns die? Well, if you're wandering around aimlessly in this open, vast, ginormous world, you roll this die. Oh, did I just roll a 12 on camera? 12 on spot. Guess what? You just found a hidden city of gold full of luxurious treasures. Now, because of all your heroic deeds, word has spread about all of your trials and tribulations. And in this city, they are offering to you a ton of fun loot and food and drinks, and you name it, your character is maxed out, geared out. Okay, now the final die I want to tell you about today is this one right here, and this is a D8. So this D8 here is the Dungeons die. You know, your character stacked, fully healed, you want to test your luck in a dungeon. That's what this dungeon die is for. So this one, also just like everything else, right, has a unique individual face. So for instance here, number 1 has a full-on dragon that you can face. We have, let's go to number 2. Number 2, we have like a dwarven forge. And then 3 looks like an elven shrine. 4 looks like a study, maybe some hidden magic over there, hidden spells that you can learn. Number 5 looks like a cave they can venture off into. 6, this right here looks like a full-on crypt. Probably not the one that you want to head towards. 7 looks like an abandoned home. Probably like one of those ghost movies, like the types that you want to avoid, you want to go away from. That's number 7. And number 8, the final one right here, is a full-on trap. Obviously, this is a big avoidance that you want to not go towards. Those right there are the Awaken Realms Vault story dice. They're live on gamefound right now. Again, links to everything down below. Thank you so much to Awaken Realms for sponsoring today's video. If you made it to the very end, let me know which die you are most excited about. Is it the Emotions die? Is it the Critter dice? This one right here is the Koi die. Is it the Towns die? I think I'm looking forward to the Awaken Realms die the most because I am getting Nemesis very soon. So I can't wait to use the Intruder die for that. And then lastly, the Dungeons die. So made it to the end. Let me know which one of those 5 you are most excited about, you're most amped about. Thank you all so much for watching, and hope you all enjoyed the video. I'll see you later.